Hi guys, good morning. I hope you all guys are doing well, staying home, staying safe. It's great to be back for you with your SSC, I mean, in history. So let me see what I can do for you. I don't know, but I guess I'll be of some use to you as far as SST is concerned. So let's go and start with, I'll just brief you before I go into the book actually. So I'll give you notes, I'll give you solutions, I'll give you MCQs, and those will be solved. And I guess that's going to help you a lot for the future in your final exams when you're going to give it. So, a very good morning once again to everybody. And it's not mandatory that you have to follow my video. So, if you guys like it, well and good. You can jot down any message on the group, also on the WhatsApp group, and let me know what if you need any changes in my explanation or anything else. Or I guess these chapters have been already taught to you or you have gone through, I guess. So this is just a revision I'm giving it to you because you'll be having your vacation time also. During that vacation, I want to go ahead and post up all as much as information possible for you guys so that you can go ahead and crack your exams properly. Okay, so let's start rocking, and we'll start with rise of nationalism in Europe. See, basically, nationalism in Europe, actually it started in 1848. You have already gone through this, so I'm just giving you a brief up. The rise of nationalism. Now, I don't know what do you understand by nationalism. You guys must be understanding it's an ideology and movement that promotes the interest of a particular nation, especially with the aim of gaining and maintaining the nation's sovereignty, or self-governance, which is called, over its homeland. Nationalism holds that each nation should govern itself free from outside interference. That's nationalism. No one from outside can interfere. So the rise of nationalism in Europe initiated with the Spring of Nations. What is the Spring of Nations? The Spring of Nations was the revolutions of 1848, known in some countries as the springtime of the peoples, or the Spring of Nations, where a series of political upheavals throughout Europe in 1848. It remains the most widespread revolutionary wave in European history. So that's why it's come into history, because it made a huge revolution. A change came into it, and quite a lot of people were involved in it. So this year in 1848, what can I say, is the same time popular liberal artist is Le Frédéric Soriot. So French, I don't know the actual pronunciations, but I can go very close to it. It's Frédéric Soriot created a series of 4 prints that was known as the La République Universelle Démocratique et Sociale. Okay, so it was La République Universelle Démocratique et Sociale. In this print, Soriot presents 4 prints as La Pâque, La Prologue, La Triomphe, and La Marche, which in total visualizes 48 utopias, according to Leon Baradat. Nationalism calls on people to identify with the interests of their national group and to support the creation of a state or a nation state, to support those interests. I'll repeat that. Nationalism calls on people to identify with the interests of the national group and to support the creation of a state, a nation state, to support those interests, whatever they have into it. Nationalism was the ideological impetus that in a few decades transformed Europe, ruled by monarchies. Like monarchies, a monarchy is a form of government in which the monarch, is the head of the state for life or until abdication. The political legitimacy and governor power of the monarch may vary, purely symbolic to restricted, to fully autocratic or combining executive, legislative and judicial powers. Those are monarchies. And foreign control of territory was replaced by self-determination. What is self-determination? The right of a people to self-determination is a cardinal principle in modern international law. binding as such on the United Nations as authoritative interpretation of the Charter's norms. The Charter's norms are the full norms and guides which they had to rule a place. In the states, people based on respect for the principle of equal rights and fair equality of opportunity having the right. Okay. Having the right to the newly formed national governments, we can say it in that way, or we can say it was rule regulation which they had to follow, a self-determination. Okay. So, some countries such as Germany and Italy were formed by uniting various regional states with a common national identity. Others such as Greece, Serbia, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria were formed by uprising against the Ottoman Empire and the Russian Empire. Ottoman Empire, you must be knowing, again, it was a state of the Caliphate, the Islam, the Caliphate that controlled much of southeastern Europe, Western Asia, North Africa between the 14th and the early 20th centuries. It was founded at the end of the 13th century in the northwestern Anatolia in the town of Sobut by the Oghuz Turkish. They were the Caliphate. So they were after the Prophet Muhammad. Caliphate was the top boss in my language, and the Russian Empire. Now you know about the Russian Empire was an empire that extended across Eurasia, Europe and Asia, a part of it, and North America from 1721 following the end of the Great Northern War until the Republic was proclaimed by the provisional government that took power after the February Revolution in 1917. The third largest empire in history, you can say that. Okay, the Russian Empire. And they are very tough ones. So basically, I'll just repeat that what I said. Nationalism in Europe initiated the Spring of Nations in 1848. Basically, there was an artistic preview of this person, of this artist, Frédéric Soriot. And there were 4 prints of the La Paix, La Prologue, La Triomphe and La Marche. In a visualization of 48 utopias, Leon Barthat nationalism calls on people to identify with the interests of the national group and to support the creation of a state or a nation state, to support those interests which they have. Nationalism was the ideological impetus that in few decades transformed Europe. And what are the countries? Europe ruled by monarchies and foreign control of territory was replaced by self-determination. While it was in the monarchies, it was replaced by self-determination. A new formed national government came into action. Simple. Countries which were Germany, Italy, okay, Greece, Serbia, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, Ottoman Empire and the Russian Empire. Russian Empire is the largest, you can say, the third largest empire in history. Clear. Now I don't want to go into Ottoman Empire or Russian Empire. I'm just giving you the basic knowledge of it. Now I'm going to give you what was actually the background of it. It's no use of going into what is happening, what happened for this cause. That is the more. If we know what was the cause of this nationalism in Europe, everything will be like crystal clear water for you to understand. I hope I am able to explain it to you in a proper way. Whatever I am saying, I am going to give it to you in a PDF or a Word document, my notes, which I have prepared. So it takes a lot of time. I got a sudden order from the management so that I have to come and hit SST because I am in the junior school SST till class 7. You guys must be knowing that. So without saying no, as this time social distancing is going on, lockdown is going on, pandemic. So I thought, why not take this opportunity and help you guys out also. It will be a basic thing for me also to get into this, and why not, when I'm sitting idle, so why not go ahead and do something. So it's better sharing than taking anything else. So fine. So what's the background? Now see, I want to just tell you basically that there will be short videos of 10 minutes each maybe, and I'm going to explain it in more than 2 videos, I guess, which will be much more easier. And you must always keep on checking the upload section where you get the notes, because I put it on randomly, and the notes sheet I won't change every time. There will be the same sheet, part by part, step by step. So when you write something, it's going to help you out. And history is all about writing, and if you write it in the proper way. So history, it's about someone's history, you're reading his story, so that is history. So that's simple. That's in my language. I call it so. That's the way I was taught. That's the way I learned. So I share it, whatever I have learned with you, whatever I've learned from my teachers and my school or whatever. Okay, in my whole education years, which has passed quite a lot of time. So okay, I'll come back in the next video and I'm going to discuss with you about this background, what actually happened. Then we'll come into this French Revolution part, because in your first part of your book I see the rise of nationalism in Europe, and it's just given the whatever I wanted to say, it's given there also as well. The following German peoples are the people of Australia, Kingdom, Two Sicilies. I'm not going into details because I'll come back to the book. Okay, and once I finish my notes, I'm going to read through the book again for you, or I may not read for the book again. I'll give you MCQs which you can solve yourself. You guys are all senior guys, so you won't have a problem. So I'll just come back in the next video and I'll go back to the background of this rise, the rise of nationalism in Europe. Okay, see you soon. Don't vanish.